Hello, this is Summer Swan, and this is my entry for if I would change something in my past, what would it be and why? That's a very simple question for me. I would spend one September evening at the Riverfest with my father instead of with my friends. Why would I do that? A little backstory. I grew up in a split household. My mother was working 2 full jobs, and my father was a drug addict. I never got to see him because he didn't have his own place and did not drive, so phone calls were the extent of our relationship for a long time. He called me, and I looked forward to those phone calls every day. At one day he called and told me he was having a baby, and I was ecstatic. Most children would be upset with their distant father, but I was ecstatic. I knew that was something that we could talk about, and maybe I could even help him with eventually. So I started begging my mom to go over there to help him set up for the baby room and to hear the heartbeat and get to the ultrasounds with him every now and again. And we grew pretty close. We built a real relationship. Although my efforts fell short quickly because he relapsed and I couldn't believe my father abandoned me again. I was so mad, I swore I would never speak to him again. And from that period on, I insisted I hated my father. I was disappointed too many times. Throughout the next few years, he would call periodically, and I would always tell my mother some random excuse on why I could not be on the phone and why I did not want to talk to him. But his phone calls became more routine. He was more insistent and persistent, but I still hated him. One morning, he called me and my mother and asked me if I would go to the Riverfest with him. Granted, I had already made plans with some friends, so I said no, and that was the reason why. And my mom agreed because I hadn't seen him in a while, so she agreed that was the right choice. So I go down to the Riverfest with my friends that afternoon. And lo and behold, who do I see standing in the parking lot is my father, waving his hands at me. I don't know how he knew what car I was in. Waving his hands, saying, "Hey, Summer, come over here. I just want to see you. Come give me a hug." So I go over there. And as a 11, 12-year-old, I gave him a piece of my mind. I told him, "Please leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you. You're going to ruin my day. Please go away." But he tried. He tried, and he was very understanding. He said, "Well, I thought you might say that, but I wanted to at least be here to try. And I knew you were coming here today, so this was the perfect opportunity." And I didn't care. I just went on my way and spent time with my friends. I actually ended up having a great night and a great few days after that. I'm sitting in my kitchen eating a bowl of cereal, and my mother's reading the newspaper. And she tells me, "Have you talked to your brother?" "No." "Have you talked to your grandmother?" "No." "Well, Summer, I have something serious to tell you. It's about your father." That day, she told me my father had died in a bar fight the night of the Azalea Festival. The night after the Azalea Festival. He died in a bar fight. And a day before he died, I told him I hated him and never wanted to see him again. My wish came true. And that's something I regret. And I will regret for the rest of my life. People say that, your life experiences make you a better person. Well, this particular life experience is something I wish I could change.